The worldwide adoption of the more cinematic widescreen over the formerly standardized and more intimate 4:3 aspect ratio meant that the camera in video games was better at showing the player their immediate environment than it was at presenting elevation. 4:3 was the initial format because film stock is naturally in the 4:3 aspect ratio. Widescreen came about when cinema attendance began dropping in the advent of home televisions, as Hollywood wanted to differentiate movies from TV shows. Games may have had their first life in the arcades, but console games were designed around the display parameters of television, not cinema, which meant 4:3, which I theorized to have given platformers the edge over action games. Combat usually happens on flatter terrain than platformers do, and the display shakeup from 4:3 to widescreen might have artificially capped platformers' ability to fully utilize the camera, just like how the original 4:3 aspect ratio capped action games' ability to fully utilize the camera. It's possible, of course, to place artificial bars on each side of the screen to simulate older aspect ratios, but that's not intuitive. And because the widescreen format gives unnecessary attention to the player's sights, that's where the player's eye for environmental awareness will be drawn rather than to higher elevations. If you're a designer playtesting a game you're making in widescreen, you might get drawn to the sights and might begin to wonder how to make use of that space rather than block it out to better service the platforming, assuming you're making a platformer in the first place. If I'm right, and that's the natural impulse, game developers might have just accidentally felt they needed to have something of significance for the side view to impart to the player, and so might have been enticed to add some enemies around.